Hey everybody, I hope you guys are all doing okay. Welcome to episode 100 of Siralim Ultimate. That's right, episode 100. That is a big number indeed, and this episode is gonna be all about big numbers. That's right, in this episode, it's gonna be a special one where we are going to be doing what I have termed the big number achievements here in Siralim Ultimate, and there's a lot to do. We're gonna go through it step by step. First of all, what even are these achievements? You might be wondering what I'm talking about. Well, there are a whole lot of achievements to get in this game. 5,079 in total, to be precise. But the ones we're gonna be focusing on, and we can pick any one of these because they will all have the same level of what you need to do. Is basically, like in many games there are like long counter achievements where like for instance in Diablo 4 there's probably an achievement deal 1 billion damage over, however long you've been playing. So there are achievements like that in this game, and we are gonna be trying to get these done, and on the screen right now I have a sample of what they look like. So let's take the achievement for increasing the attack stat. The reason it starts at 5 is because I've already gotten up to 1 billion, so those are in the already gotten achievements, which are at the start of the list. Let's focus on the ones we haven't gotten. So, achievement number 5 in this list of achievements, which is called Up the Attack, they all have their own, special names. This one is called Up the Attack, and it's for increasing the attack stat. The next one will unlock at a trillion, then at a quadrillion, then at a quintillion, then sextillion, septillion, and octillion. And those are crazy numbers indeed. Crazy enough that by the time we get past a quintillion, I need to remind myself, like, what exactly the number actually is. So what is an octillion? I looked it up before starting this episode. There are actually two definitions depending on where in the world you are. In most places it means 10 to the power of 30, that is 1 followed by 30 zeros. That is correct, because 10 to the power of 1 is 1 0, right, so, alright. Just wanted to make sure we didn't have any off by 1 situations going on. So 1 followed by 30 zeros, but in some countries, I think Germany and Britain, it's actually 48 zeros, so to the power of 48. Which one are we dealing with here? Well, that's where we look at what the exponents are. Not really exponents, but like the numbers with the scientific notation. So in this case, we're being told we've got 1.31b, that's short for billion, but what we need is 1 E30. And E30 basically means multiplied by 10 to the power of 30. So luckily for us, we don't have to go all the way to 48 zeros. It caps out at 30 zeros. But how much easier does that make our job? We still need to get stats. Well, we need to gain stats to a ridiculous number. We need to lose or reduce stats by a ridiculous number, and deal damage, and we will need to reach that ridiculous number for all of these different things. Now, there are stat gain mechanics in this game, however, all of them by default will be subject to diminishing returns, meaning your stat gains will gain you a lot to start out with, but then less and less and less until eventually you're gaining almost nothing at all. So you're saying, well, you might be thinking, well, so you're saying that these achievements are just impossible then? Like you're just never gonna reach even a trillion, much less a billion if diminishing returns exist. And ordinarily that would be the case. However, let me go to my bestiary, or actually no, let me go to my summoned creatures, because we've already summoned this. I'll just go to withdraw. A few episodes ago, I beat Miraxus at the Gate of the Gods, allowing me to summon his avatar. And note the trait, Marigold. Your creature's stats gained in battle are no longer subject to diminishing returns. That is important, which means... the reason that it's important is because it means that in terms of gaining stats, as long as we have some sort of exponential scaling, we should be able to hit these big numbers eventually. For stats, well, attack, intelligence, defense, and speed I'll put in one category, and maximum health I'll put in a separate category. We're gonna have to do it separately for both of them because spells work differently between the two. A lot of them which affect the other stats don't affect maximum health. But as long as we have some sort of exponential scaling, like we're not just linearly growing it by the same amount every time, we should be able to hit those octillions if we're patient enough. We will need to construct a party to do that though, and for that I'm actually going to deposit all of my creatures. They're all gone. And let me withdraw Miraxus. And for the rest of my party, it's gonna be these 5 sapphire carbuncles that I summoned. What? No, not an Axe or Apocalypse. Deposit. Or, oh, sorry, not 4080. I need the rest of my sapphire carbuncles. And we're not quite done. There's going to be a lot we need to do. Now, creatures also have dispositions. Before we look at dispositions, let's look at why I bothered to summon these sapphire carbuncles and put them in my party. The important thing is they have this trait. If your creatures have cast a total of 7 or more spells in the current battle, the creature's spells are 50% more potent, and more importantly, no longer consume charges. That is going to be pretty important. We're also going to go over to the fusion lab, I guess, is this structure, and we're going to level up all our creatures to what is currently my highest level creature. And as you can see, that gives them substantially more stats. Now, we also have dispositions, and so if we go to our creatures, you'll notice, like this one's selfless, bashful, brutal, gentle, protective, bashful again. What that'll do is it'll buff one stat, it'll debuff another one. I guess I could min-max a little bit by giving them dispositions, but I'm not really going to bother with that. Instead, we're going to start summoning some more creatures. I'm going to sort it by race now. We're going to be summoning some clockwork creatures. I should have the clockworks. Hang on. Where are my creatures? Bestiary. I'm having trouble finding the creatures that I'm looking for. I'm gonna have to... It might be that their class is something... Oh, it's Is it because I sorted by class instead of race? I think that might have been what happened. Alright, let's see, maybe now we'll have an easier... Okay, these automaton... Not the automaton. I'm looking for clockwork. Here we go, we need these clockwork creatures. And, I'm gonna summon all of them. Particularly these last 5. Battle Clockwork I'll save for now, but we'll summon... Oh, I've got to go to this now. Sort by race. Where are the Clockworks? There, here are the Clockworks. Again, experimental... Foghorn, Industrial, Siege, and War. And it's on. These are all going to be on page 8. Experimental, Industrial. Oh, sorry, Foghorn. Industrial. Siege. And finally, War. And what we're gonna do is, we're gonna fuse our 5 carbuncles with those clockworks. Sort by race, please. That'll make this a lot easier. And we can choose an appearance. I'll pick this one. That's a very cool looking palette. And what that'll do is, ooh, we get some achievements for that as well. That'll give, I don't think we're allowed to fuse Meraxes. Oh no. Oh no, that just, the star just means it's in our party, alright. It's currently in our party and is up for a fusion. I don't think I'm gonna fuse Meraxes though, because I'm saving it for other things. I'll fuse you with the Foghorn. Again, we'll pick, this seems like the kind of a palette I want. I think we might have to level up these creatures again because it's going to average out their stats, I think. But that's okay. We've got plenty of resources, so it's not a problem. Industrial, yeah. Again, the bottom left fusion seems to be the one that I am liking the most. Can leave Meraxes alone for now. Summon you with this. Oh. I didn't pick the right palette, but that's okay. It gives me a chance to show off that you can change the palette for your creatures, and I think this is the one that I... What? It didn't let me, hang on, let me fuse the final carbuncle with the war clockwork. This time, I guess I'll pick this one again, although that's a pretty dark palette, but that's fine. Now, one of my creatures, annoyingly, isn't the palette that I want. think it's the fourth one. Yeah, okay, yeah. Now they are all what I want. And I think I'm gonna have to level them up again. Yeah, because they're at a lower level. Yeah, so we'll just pay... Wasting a bit of power doing this, but that's okay. The reason I fuse my carbuncles with those clockworks is because if we look at their traits, and you probably read their traits while we were doing this, but if we look at their traits, their second trait, which they're getting through their fusion, is at the start of this creature's turn, it gains attack plus 10% of the total amount of attack it has received in the current battle. So it's a self-sustaining and hopefully there's some potential for exponential growth there. And, you know, similarly for all of the other spells as well. Sorry, all of the other stats. One each. And then this last one is just after your creature's innate traits activate, other creatures gain a few of these stats. That's gonna be important, mainly just because I want to stack a lot of intelligence on this guy, because we'll need it for something later on. Now, next, we need some spells for our creatures. What? They are all sorcery except for Meraxis, who is nature. So one important spell that I need on 4 of them is gonna be Time Walk, a sorcery spell. We're gonna need well, let's just make 5 gems of Time Walk and equip it. Well, we've got to upgrade it and we've got to do a bunch of things. Alright, let's enchant. Let's first upgrade. And what we're going to do is we're going to make them all enchanted with a few different things. Luckily, we don't need any class swaps on these spells. We're going to give them double cast. Oh, there's no chance to cast twice. Oh, it can only be cast once at a time. Alright, that's fine. That's fine, that's okay. So we'll just make it generous, then... And I guess we'll, might as well give it more charges. Not that it's really gonna matter. Again, generous, more charges. It would be really cool if you could cast this spell multiple times, but alas, it seems that it is not subject to that. Right. In addition, we need some materials for our creatures. I'm just gonna craft 6 pairs of boots, or 6 boots artifacts. Right, and the thing with boots specifically is you can socket spell gems into your artifacts, and they have these spells will have a chance of casting depending on what action you take, depending on which type of artifact it is. So for boots, I believe it has a chance of casting on turn. Yeah, boots has a chance to cast at the start of your turn. So what we're gonna do is we'll equip these 6 boots. It's also gonna give us a speed bonus. Alright. That's good. Also gonna craft... Well, you know, let's do our upgrading first. We're not gonna give these items any nether slots, but we will fully upgrade them. Just to get the speed bonuses out of it. Oh, it seems like their color changes periodically when you upgrade them. I didn't notice that either. If you look at the item graphic next to the cursor, the color is changing as I'm upgrading it, and it seems to almost be random. Oh no, it's not random. It's the same color. The first one just wasn't fully upgraded. Oh, alright, that's a cool little touch that I never noticed until this episode. You learn something new every day. Alright. Alright. Now, in these boots, we are going to want to equip spell gems of a spell called self-analysis. And we're gonna craft I guess we'll craft 5 gems of those. Or I think 4 should be enough. We're gonna want them on our creatures that are gaining the stats that have the trait that allows them to gain you know, that one stat on themselves. And I seem to have lost that spell. No, there it is. And with 4 of these, I'll socket them into my boots, into the spell slot. Spell slot. Right. That's good. Am I missing one? Did I not craft enough of these, or did I somehow waste one of them? Anyway, let's craft another one. You don't need to upgrade spell gems to put them into... Did I accidentally unsocket instead of socketing? I must have, because I feel like I'm missing one. Self-analysis. Right. Now, you'll notice artifacts also have trait slots. I am gonna socket some stuff into... some of my artifacts. I will put... First of all, if I go to socket, I'll go to trait slot. I'm looking for mystical boulder. How many of those do I have? I've got... excuse me. Oh no, that's not what I need for this one. Hang on, I put it in the wrong slot. Oh, I think it might be broken scales. I think it might be broken scales. Like, all of the trait materials have specific names. And the names aren't... they don't always give you a good idea of what the thing actually does. So broken scales, which we have a lot of, at the start of this creature's turn, it gains stats equal to 20% of its highest stat. So we want this on... And by the way, like, the trait material has one name, and then the trait itself has a totally different name. So the trait material was called Broken Scales, but the trait itself is called In All Things. So this one and this trait slot, we're gonna once again add Broken Scales. And one more. Broken Scales. There we go. And next, we can buff stats as well. I guess we should. Hang on. I'm not sure what the multiplication is going to be based on. Is it going to be based on your base stats or the stats that your thing multiplies? So let's look at our creatures. We have attack, intelligence, speed, defense. Attack, intelligence, speed, defense. So let's... Into you, let's socket stuff that only increases attack. Which we've got a lot of this stuff. Attack. 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 Intelligence, speed, and defense. Wrong screen. Speed is up there. And finally, defense. Just regular old defense. Oh, it was right on. It was right on top. Right. And we're not going to bother with a trait slot or a spell slot on either of you yet. Right. Now, we're not quite done with the... I need to socket one more thing into Meraxis's artifact. Now, I mentioned earlier that Meraxis, your trait is going to remove diminishing returns for us, which means we're going to be able to gain stats really well, and we'll be able to get those achievements done. We'll also be able to deal damage pretty efficiently, but the problem is, in order to reduce stats on the enemies, we're only going to be able to get credit for that if the enemies have those stats to reduce in the first place. So to reduce some enemy stat by an octillion, they would have had to have an octillion to begin with. And for that, the enemies also are going to have to lose their damage, their diminishing returns on stat scaling. So I'm gonna socket into Meraxis's artifacts trait slot. Into this I'm gonna put something called the trait launcher. If I can find it, I should have a bunch of these. There we go, trait launcher, which gives you the improbable catapult trait. At the start of this creature's turn, enemies gain a copy of its innate trait. This trait can only activate once per side. So my thinking is that by giving the enemies the Marigold trait and removing their diminishing returns, they will also be able to get the kind of scaling that we want out of them. Now, so one thing we need to do is we are not done crafting spells. We need to create a new spell gem for a death spell called Devour. Which steals all 4 stats. There's a better version of this spell, but it involves doing a false god fight, which I haven't done yet. So for now, we're just gonna do it like this. We're gonna enchant Devour. Well, first of all, we're gonna upgrade it all the way. Now we'll enchant it with the what was I gonna put it on? Well, first of all, I need to find it. We're gonna give it. We'll give it this better stat, modification, and we're gonna make it cast twice. And we can have versions of this spell where it's based on attack or based on speed or defense or health, because by default it's based on your intelligence. So I guess we will make versions of this spell that suit each of the 4 stats that our creatures are gaining. Let's remind ourselves, which one was the one who got intelligence? Let's look at our traits. There's going to be a lot of setup in this episode, so it'll be a long while. The second one was intelligence, alright. So let's equip the spell gem. Do you no longer have space for spell gems? No. Oh, it's because we need to class swap it from sorcery to death. Alright, so let's disenchant. Devour, we don't need generous. We'll class swap it. From death, we'll make it sorcery. And I guess only one of our creatures really needs the spell. Where has it gone? There it is. Equip it on you, and now we're almost done. There's one other spell that we need, which we don't have yet. So I'm gonna go down to instability 0, in fact. Down to, yeah, realm 2 is fine. We want to go to the place where Isaros is, the desert. But it's not called the desert, it's called, I think, the Barrens? The Barrens, yes. There's a spell we need to buy from Isaros. Called Sacred Ground. All creatures are afflicted with scorn. And we'll donate, and we can't leave the realm now until we either forfeit or guess? Hang on. Why were we gaining maximum health? Okay, because of in all things. Most things where you gain stats are not applying to maximum health, but in this case it does. So we're just gonna kill these guys quickly, hopefully not too many. Oh god. We just want to run in and run out, and I don't even care like if I leave some rare encounter behind, because this is a... Oh, I guess my muscle memory is kicking in and I'm just interacting with everything. It's not that bad. We're getting favor with these roads, but we just need to get these shrines. Oh god, I was hoping we didn't get the oh, they've scorned us, which might make this an unwinnable battle. Oh god, what have I... Okay. Fortunately, it seems to be only a start of battle scorn, and not a perma scorn, because that would really suck. Like, speaking of scorn, we just picked up a thing which does scorn, and at least now you get to see why scorn is so important. Scorn prevents enemies from attacking. Now we need to find shrines. I'm not forfeiting. That is one thing I refuse to do, even if it means this episode ends up being like 1 billion years long. I'll speed it up when the really grindy part comes around. I mean, I was not expecting to find a card, but I'll take it. An Apis card. We are also collecting cards in this series, and I will 100% take it. Opening chests is just not even worth it, really, because the item bonus is so low. And I cannot believe We found a card in a random throwaway realm that I went into just to get a spell. That's RNG at its finest. Alright. As you can see, this is a crappy build for fighting, right? It's an incomplete build. I don't even have most of my traits in place. It's a build that I'm putting together for one reason only. And that is to, God, where is this final shrine? One reason and one reason only, and that is to try and get these achievements done. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. God, there's 2 more enemies. I guess we might as well just full clear this realm. I'm not gonna do the mini boss rooms because all you get out of them is well, actually, you get a bit of favor with Eastros, don't you? All right, fine, I'll do them. You get a bit of favor with Eastros. Let's go. And let's grab this. Okay, let's go on full clearing this realm unnecessarily. But you know, it would make me feel really bad to leave favor with the god uncollected. And as you can see, yeah, it's really not even worth it opening chests. So we'll just find this last realm, and before I distract myself with too many other things, I'm just gonna leave. Yeah, I would rather. I don't even want to get this. I mean, we shouldn't leave emblems lying on the ground either. You know, while we're at it. Where is the exit? It's there. Right. So let's go back to Siralim now. Let's craft spells of we're gonna do, yeah, we're gonna do what class was it? It was called Sacred Ground. Oh, it's literally right in front of me. I was like, what class was it? Grab this, and I guess 2 of us can have that. Let's upgrade both of these. And we're gonna have to enchant them to make them usable. Sacred Ground. You can make this one cast twice, even though I don't know if it would do anything. Make it duration increase, why not? Make it generous, sure. Actually no, we'll make it have more charges. And we'll class swap it to sorcery. We'll equip it on you. Hang on. Nope. We'll pick the wrong one. Equip it on you. Right. On you, we also are gonna have a create new spell gem. I believe this is a Chaos Sphere, I think is the name of this spell. Chaos Spheres. Target's spell gems are sealed for the rest of the battle. We're gonna need this. We're gonna need Clayman as well, but not just yet. Alright. upgrade Chaos Spheres. Where is it? There it is. So this one, we're gonna enchant it with Generous, Class Swap Sorcery, and what else do we want to do with it? I mean, we don't really need any more, so we're just gonna once again equip this on you. And now I think we're almost done. I think we're basically done. Now we're gonna do our first test run. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go again, staying on instability 0. We're gonna take the realm depth down to about 300, so that the enemies have some stats, but not too many. And we're gonna go into a random realm. I guess we could pick the realm we want, but we're just gonna do a random realm. Yeah, let's just do, you know what, let's do Arachnid Nest. I can use this as an opportunity to buff the Arachnid Nest some more. You know, donate to Regalis as well. And the main thing we want to do now is... Oh! I forgot to equip my Chaos Spheres, didn't I? Oh no, I'm pretty sure I did. I'm pretty sure I did equip them. Anyway, we've got Nemesis creatures, that's gonna suck. But we should have a major speed advantage on them. We'll just kill them. Oh, oh. Except we can't just kill them. Only our creature with the... What the hell is going on? What? Is he resurrecting? Oh my god. This is annoying. Oh my god. This was annoying. Nemesis creatures, alright. I don't want to take any, debuffs. So there are certain realm objects that you can interact with which will debuff the enemies. I don't want to touch them. Do not want to touch them. 7 enemies. Ugh. This really sucks. Like, see, this thing above us right now, I don't want to touch it. I don't want to give the enemy something annoying. What I want to do is, I want to summon a creature called an Axer Apocalypse. So let's sort it by name. We've already found its card. Now, I want to get into combat with this creature. What I want to do is, I want to kill all of them except for one. And I want to check my battle history. Is this... Axer Apocalypse gaining stats? So we'll cast Chaos Spheres to seal your spell gems. You can defend. And let's look at the battle history. Health is at 52, 751. Oh, Did we not equip Time Walk? Oh, we didn't equip Time Walk. Oh my god. Oh god. What have I done? What have I done? Spell gems. We didn't equip any of our Time Walks. This freaking sucks. Alright, let's flee from this realm as quickly as we can. I'm tempted to just forfeit. Ah, this is falling apart. What I'm gonna do is I am going to skip to when we're ready to leave this realm, alright? I will try my best not to waste any more of your time while we're doing this, right? See you in a bit. Alright, we have completed this realm quest, and I'm just gonna run away from this realm without exploring anything else. We're gonna have to fight these guys. No! Just want to run away like a coward because I forgot to do the thing that I was gonna do. Come on. Come on, let's not make this any longer than it needs to be. I need to equip my... I don't know why I didn't... I guess we'll do this as well. Oh, of course they attack. The one time I don't want them to attack, I'm getting all of the attacks. Okay. Alright. Let's grab that as well. Now let's head back to Siralim. Let's equip our spell gems now. Jeez, what an awful misplay. Time walk there. Time walk. You have Devour, but now you have Time Walk as well. Time Walk there. Time Walk there, and Time Walk there. There's one other thing that I need to do. I need to create a macro for Time Walk. So let me edit macro 7, which is currently empty. Add, I think if this creature is alive, cast. I think we've unfortunately got to go all the way down this list. Cast. Oh boy. Cast Time Walk on itself. This is gonna take a while, but we're just gonna cast Time Walk on this creature, so on itself. And for you, I'm gonna assign macro 7. And I'm gonna have your default strategy be the macro. And same for all of you guys. This is gonna speed things up considerably. What? Assign macro 7. Strategy is the macro. And assign macro 7. You have macro 7 as well. Let me make sure you all have macro 7. Alright. Finally, and let me make sure we have all the spells we need, right? Spell gems. No, creature spell gems. You have no spells. I guess you don't need spells, we just needed you for your trait. You have Time Walk. You have Time Walk and Devour. You have Time Walk. You have Time Walk. You have Sacred Ground, Chaos Spheres, and Time Walk. Right. We also need to change our anointments. Considerably, we need to change our anointments. So we've got to go to Character, got to go to Anointments. And we can get rid of Shimmer, because it's not really going to be a problem. We're gonna get rid of Graveborn, definitely, because we're not really resurrecting. Same for Censure, we're not really interested in damaging the enemy too much. Retention and Singleton are also not necessary either. I guess we could take Accumulation just to get more speed, get more stats that way. Sure. Are there any Sorcerer things that are useful? Nah, that's not good either. Purgatorian maybe? No. Monk? Is there anything useful there? What was Temporal Concentration? Well, that's actually pretty good. Oh, well, actually no, it's not gonna apply because the spell itself only, the spell that I'm talking about is Time Walk. That spell has a special, waiver, a special condition that will prevent it from being cast an extra time, but I guess we'll take it just in case. Maybe there's some supercharged. More charges on our spells, sounds good. And now we're fine. Now we're gonna go back. We're once again gonna take it down by 300, and we're gonna go back to the Arachnid Nest. And now we're gonna do things the way I wanted. I am gonna start off by making a donation to Regalis. More treasure from all sources is a great enchantment, a great benefit to have. I'm glad we did that. Now what we need to do is we need to make our way to the... I guess we're gonna have to kill these guys. There's no getting around them. Oh, didn't want to cast that. Didn't want to cast that. We're gonna have to manually make our way towards the Divination Candle. One thing oh god, I did not want a Mimic fight. Self-analysis is also casting. Is self-analysis gaining us stats? Yes, it is. Okay. Also, do you have Marigold? Yes, you do. So that is working correctly. Alright. Now, okay, I guess we might as well open this chest. Now we need to get to the... God, we need to get to the Divination Candle. Oh my god. We need to kill these creatures. Oh my god. Fortunately, they died. That was really annoying. Hang on, have we... I think we fucked up. Oh yeah, I fucked up big time. I wasn't supposed to pick up any debuffs. Now the creatures are gonna die when their turn comes. The creatures are just gonna... die. Did I pick up a debuff? Yes, I did. This realm isn't gonna work. Ah, these guys are also gonna... You know what, I'm just gonna forfeit this time. It's not worth it, wasting even more time. We can get our fortune bonus back. We need to go back into the Arachnid Nest. And this time, don't pick up any debuffs. That's very important. Buffs are fine, but I'm even gonna avoid buffs. Don't pick up debuffs. Got it? Don't pick up debuffs. Don't even interact with chests, just in case it ends up being a mimic fight. Alright, I guess we'll do you. We got a buff. Oh, you know, that could have debuffed the enemy as well. So, we got lucky there. Here's what we're gonna do. We're not gonna die to a random trash mob to start out with. We are going to, oh my god, get bum rushed by, oh my god, we wasted another spell charge, but that's okay. We're gonna, god, what are you guys doing? Just leave me alone. I should have probably picked up some spell that let me at least kill enemies quickly. No, oh god, I didn't want to use the macro. I wanted to do this. I should change their default strategy back to attack, because this is slowing things down quite a bit. Me having to manually select that. So what I'll do is, yeah. Creatures, strategy is gonna be attack for everybody. And you're already on attack, that's good. Now let's not interact with this object to our left. We do not want to debuff the enemy. We just want to find, there we go, we want to find the candle, and we want to attract, once again we want to attract clockwork creatures. Clockwork creatures. Let's start with an experimental clockwork. And luckily there's one right there. Now here's my plan. Kill all of them except for one. All of them except for one dead. Now, how many? You've got a lot of uses of time walk. Now you start using your macro, which will basically advance one of your turns. Meraxis, you are gonna cast Chaos Spheres. Seal all of your spell gems. I should have made Scorned, the Scorned spell, also a generous one. But I can cast it manually, right? Sacred Ground. We needed to class swap it, I guess. And now we are going to basically just be using our macro a whole lot. All creatures are scorned, including us, but that doesn't matter because we don't want to attack. Nobody wants to attack. Just use your macro. Use your macro. Keep. You know what? Cast Time Walk on you. Use your macro. You keep casting Sacred Ground every turn. Just to simplify things. And the rest of you use your macro. So I think we're good. Time walk. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to pick the target every time. Alright. Now... what's going on with you? Why aren't you gaining health? If these guys are gaining crazy amounts of health, why aren't you gaining health? You're gaining speed, which is what we want, but not gaining health. You know what? You are gonna start casting Time Walk on this guy. Because we need his attack to start ratcheting up. Alright. Cast Time Walk on yourself. Yourself. Yeah, you're all gonna cast Time Walk. The two of you are gonna cast Time Walk on him. Is your speed going up? Yeah, your speed is going up. It's just your health is stuck for some reason. Odd. Oh, hang on a second. I must have not given him the artifact that... So if your health isn't going up... your artifact has the wrong thing slotted into it. Your artifact has the wrong thing slotted into it. That frickin' sucks. So we're gonna have one guy who's just lagging behind everyone, but that's okay. That's okay. Yeah. Oh. I forgot that we need to be doing this. I cannot believe I messed that up. Keeps scorned. I mean, you're still gaining speed, but like, this guy's gonna gain his speed quicker than you are, and he's not even, like, he's not even the, no, he is the speed gainer. What are you gaining then? You're gaining defense. I mean, you are gaining defense, but very slowly. We may have to do a separate run where we just gain defense. Alright. Meraxis, you're gonna be casting Time Walk on this guy. Creatures are gonna take more damage, but all your spells should be sealed, and you're never gonna get them back. We wanna just give you lots of attack. Alright. Keep on casting Sacred Ground. Yeah. We're gonna keep doing this. Keep casting Time Walk on this guy. And every time we get self-analysis, we're gonna get a few more stats out of that as well. Alright. Now, like, we're into the hundreds of millions already, which I like to see. Yeah, I messed up with this guy. We'll do you know, this later, I guess. Yeah. What was the trait that you were supposed to have? You were supposed to have in all things, and I must have just, like, at that, the other one is called in favor of creation, so I must have just clicked past it. Oh, that really sucks. That really sucks. It's your turn, so keep casting Sacred Ground. Ooh, why did Sacred Ground expire? I guess I should keep... Oh, if you cast it while he already has it, it doesn't increase its duration, is the problem that's happening here. So what we should be doing is, while he doesn't have... While he doesn't have that, we should just cast Time Walk on him. But if we cast Time Walk on him, isn't that gonna advance the duration on the... Yes, I think casting Time Walk on him advances the duration on the... Let's experiment with this. Advancing Time Walk on him advances the duration of the thing. So that's something to keep in mind. But Meraxus can cast... No, you can't. Oh, this sucks. You know, just cast Time Walk on you, help you out a little bit. Because you need it. Alright. Just keep using your macro. Sacred Ground. What's your, you're only at 3.65 million, which we're at 10 to the power of 6 territory, but we raised you from pretty low. So you're gonna get there eventually. We should be mindful of when his thing is gonna expire. You know, just... Yeah, for now we'll keep doing this. We'll do... Oh yeah, no, just I guess Time Walk on you. Yeah, just keep using the macro on these guys. What are we at? We're at billions of stats, except for on you. Well, you know, you're also on billions, but you're still lagging behind because we didn't give you the correct stuff. And you're getting no health because we didn't give you the correct stuff. Alright, so we can Time Walk on you. Then we can Time Walk again. We can Time Walk again. And then the moment Meraxus has its turn, we can cast... Oh, we don't have the spell on Meraxus though. That sucks. Oh. I guess we can just Time Walk then. Oh, you killed... You killed my guy. And we don't have any resurrections either. Well, this sucks. This really sucks. However, at least we know proof of concept that our strategy works. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna forfeit this battle, sadly. Our creatures are all dead. And we're gonna make the changes. There we go. We've earned some achievements for the stats we've already gained in that battle. Let's take a look at those. Sorry, it's recently earned achievements for increasing... We got an achievement for increasing speed stat by 1 trillion points already. So we know that it works. We just need to fix our build a little bit. So here's... There has to be a stat or a spell where it increases the duration on debuffs. And that's what I'm gonna look up right now. Let me go to... Siralim ultimate spells. And if we can find one where it increases the duration on debuffs. The duration of... creatures' buffs gain a duration. I don't think... No, there's only spells for increasing the duration of your buffs. There are no spells for increasing the duration on enemy debuffs. Now this would have been so much easier if we'd gotten the Reaver Anointment, where we don't take extra damage from enemies due to the battle going on for a long period of time. Right. So you have the garbage that I put incorrectly, so let me socket the correct thing into this. It was in something, right? No, it was a silver shackle. Right? Right? No, what was it? No, what was the name of hang on. What's the name of the trait that you have? It's called in all things. And what's the name of the item that gives you in all things? This is why it's so confusing. Like the trait material and the trait name are different. So what gives you in all things? Broken scales gives you in all things. So let's socket some broken scales into there. Where are you? Broken scales. There we go. And let's also fix up our spells. So from Sacred Ground, we can disenchant the more charges. We don't need more charges. Instead, I'm going to make a generous. Where's Sacred Ground? Oh, there it is. And then that should fix all of our problems. Is there anything else we need? I don't think so. I think we're just fine. You know what? I'll even give the last member of our party there's no need to waste trade materials if we don't need to. Now, let's go back into the Arachnid Nest. Again, we're gonna do it at this level. 8 enemies again? That sucks. But Shallan rules over the Feylands. At least we get some progress on this. Remember, we don't want to give the enemies any debuffs. We do want to find the candle. I'm not gonna interact with any mimics. I guess I'll take that, get a bit of favor. Enemies burst out, good for them. Yeah, this is making it considerably quicker. Oop. Yeah, let's attack them in the order that they're gonna try and attack. Alright. Alright, let's get this done. Are you serious right now? You're scorned? Are you fucking kidding me right now? Oh my god. Am I actually having to fight these guys that are 300 levels below us? They nearly took down my party. Wow. Oh, and there's a dumpling. A free dumpling. Who we can just kill. Get almost no experience for it, but we do get some progress on eventually summoning one. And there we go. There we go. This is exactly what I wanted. There we go. Perfect. Now... Oh god, there's another nemesis creature to the side. Now let's once again summon a clockwork. And let's do this properly. Experimental clockwork. Let's just get into battle with you quickly. Once again, remember our strategy. Kill all of them. Except for one. And you cast Scorned. You also have Scorned, but I guess you can start time walking the guy. The rest of you can start using your macro, gaining stats. Oh yeah, we need to seal your spell gems. That's a very important part of what we need to do. Now we can cast Time Walk on him at our leisure. And now we are totally fine. All we need to do is keep an eye on the status of his Scorned debuff. So we can do this. And we should do this as well. Just to make sure that this casts properly. So this time we will do Sacred Ground. Scorn you properly. There we go. Now we can go back to using the macro and Time Walk as well. Oh. Oh yes, when someone other than the 6th creature casts it, it doesn't have the duration buff on it. So that's another thing to keep in mind. So you're just gonna be casting Sacred Ground constantly. You know what? Just do Time Walk on the intelligence one. Oh, I think we messed up. Yeah, I think we messed up. Oh god. Fortunately we survived. Yeah, but we messed up pretty badly. now we've got the long duration Sacred Ground. Alright. Maybe we should have gotten like Archangel's Blessing and like, you know, so we'd be healing a little bit as well. Because the worst outcome is when we get to Meraxes' turn and this guy has only like a 0 left on his debuff. We need to prevent that from ever happening ever again. So what's your attack at? Okay, we're at hundreds of thousands. It's gonna take a long time to get his attack up to where we need it to be. So what I'm gonna do is, now that you know what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to do is get basically this guy, each time we cast Time Walk on him, his attack is gonna go up by a certain amount. And each time his attack goes up, it'll go up by more the next time. So we are trying to raise his attack by a crazy amount. And I will let you know once I think we've hit the numbers that we need, alright? So I'm gonna put this video on pause and I'll be back with you shortly. Alright, I'm taking this video off pause just to show you this. The stats on this carbuncle of mine have gotten big enough that the game has started using scientific notation for them. And for some of my others as well, but for the others they're still in the trillions. And for this guy, he is in the hundreds of millions, so he is lagging far behind just because he doesn't have, you know, like the other traits we have. So he's coming along slowly. Mainly we're helping him out by casting Time Walk on him when we can, but it's a bit slow because I'm having to time it with making sure that he doesn't get a chance to attack us as well. So that's making things a little tricky. But yeah, that's the progress we're at so far. I'll let you know how it goes. But yeah, that's what we've got so far. Alright, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, taking things back off pause just to show you that the stats on this carbuncle of mine are approaching that fabled quintillion mark. And what I've taken to doing is, I had these carbuncles all casting it on themselves. I was under the assumption that the stat that they were innately gaining would be higher on them than on anyone else, but what has happened is that Time Walk itself, or rather the other thing we're doing per turn, which is gaining 20% of all stats, is dwarfing that 10%, and it's meant that we are basically gaining all our stats because of that. Now the interesting thing is that should be a trait that the enemy has as well. And one thing I'm gonna do though, I'm gonna see, so the trait is called In All Things. What is the creature that has the trait called In All Things? Siralim Ultimate Creatures. Because that might be a better way to farm the stat decreases that we're going to do later on. Hang on. I think I'm gonna have to look at the trait material, possibly. Broken Scales. Siralim. Or is that a... Hang on. Broken... Let me... hang on just a second. Siralim Ultimate... Creatures... It's a little... Just because the fact that traits and trait materials have different things is... throwing me off. Oh, maybe no creature has this trait. Maybe it's a... maybe it's one of those special traits that you have to find and you can't have it on a creature. Ooh, in that case... in that case, we might be stuck just doing this. We might be stuck just doing this. However, pretty soon... oh yeah, we are past. We are way past what we need. Now what I need to start doing is I need to start casting Time Walk on this guy, who is already in the billions, until he gets to, you know, 10 to the power of 31, let's say. And then we're gonna start casting stat decreases on him. But yes, that is gonna be our plan. And I'm going to put this video back on pause while we buff this guy by casting Time Walk on him. He's gonna do it naturally whenever he gets his turn, but we need to speed this process up because it is much slower than it is for our creatures. So alright guys, I will be back with you shortly. Putting this video back off pause just to show you that I messed up slightly. As you can see that things look very different. That's because I had to cast the Good Fortune spell from Miraxis. The reason that had to happen was because I accidentally let this Clockwork Automaton take a turn when I shouldn't have. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cast Time Walk again. Now I'm going to cast Scorned again, and now I should be back in the cycle that I like. And just to show, he is in the hundreds of trillions right now. It's going very slowly, but eventually he will reach the levels we need. There must be a quicker way to do this, but this is the way that I've settled on, and it will work eventually. But yes, I will be back with you once he's reached the level of stat that we want. Alright, I will be with you shortly. Putting this back off pause to show you that this guy has now reached the point where the game is displaying his attack stat in scientific notation. So, getting there, but again, a slow process. I'll be back once we are closer to the end, right? I'll be with you in a bit. Taking this video back on pause because I just discovered something that I should have realized a long time ago. We have infinite charges of Good Fortune, which would normally be an ultimate spell that you can cast only once per battle, but we have the anointment that allows us to cast ethereal spells multiple times. So what we can do is, pretty much every round we can cast Good Fortune, give ourselves all our buffs, and then the rest of these guys can just Time Walk this guy all day long, because one of the buffs we gain is the buff called Shelled, where the next incoming attack is negated. And as long as we all have Shelled, then it should be a cakewalk. A cakewalk for the Time Walk. As long as you're casting your buff spell every turn, that is Good Fortune. Yeah, see, his attacks aren't doing anything. I don't know if he's even able to get through our defense. As you can see, the only downside is we need a better macro where you don't have to manually target this guy every time. But it's gotten pretty okay. In fact, I think from now until the end of this battle, we're just gonna deal with this guy like this. Yeah, he can't do anything to us. Even though, like, battle fatigue is gonna keep getting worse and worse, as long as we have shelled, we should be fine. As long as we have shelled, we should be fine. And how quickly are we making progress? Quickly enough. Every few casts of Time Walk is giving him another power of 10. Now, the other thing that I have not tested yet is how much would you need how strong would you need your stat reduction spell to be in order to reduce his attack stat by a whopping octillion in one go? Now we can go back to casting Good Fortune a little bit. I think the answer to that question is it would have to be pretty strong, but the stats on our guys are pretty strong as well. What's the status on you? You are a 26, you're getting there. Just to be on the safe side, we'll keep time walking him until he's 10 to the power of 31. Until we see E31. That way we'll know that we're getting the thing. And I shouldn't be taking risks by casting Time Walk with Meraxis. The time it would save us compared to the time already spent is minimal. And the danger of potentially losing our one party member who can do the rest of this job is just too high. Yeah, I need to be more cautious for sure. Even though I feel like we're probably invincible, but you never know. You never know. We are scaling his attack pretty hard. Plus the game is also increasing the damage that everybody takes. The longer this battle goes, why take the risk? Like, if you don't have to, why take the risk? Like, why? Just why? That's just me admonishing myself for being greedy, and hopefully it stops me from it's stopping me so far. Yeah, and with Meraxis we just do Good Fortune. This is such a powerful buff, by the way. Good Fortune combined with the anointment that makes your ethereal gems infinite. I guess the downside is that ethereal gems are also easy for the enemy to seal, so that kind of balances it out. But like this enemy, most enemies aren't going to be able to that was not me being greedy, that was me just muscle memory selecting the spell that I'm casting. We did get another turn out of it. We'll go back to Good Fortune. We must be getting close now. We must be getting close. What are you at? You're at 30. Like I said, just to be on the safe side, I'll keep doing this until we hit 31 on this guy. Okay, Time Walk as well, and Good Fortune. And now, what are you at? You're at 31, so okay, that's good. Now, I didn't need to defend specifically. I guess we can just start Time Walking you, because you're the one of the powerful spells. As soon as you get your turn, yes, as soon as you get your turn, you will devour stats from the target. So Cast Devour on this guy. It double cast as well. Now look at the battle history. What? Oh, he only lost attack. He didn't lose anything else. I saw these other stats. I mean, he did lose some. He must have lost some, right? Because he had some to start out with. I don't think he's started this battle with a... Oh, I guess his stats are too low for us to drain. They're not taken down to 0. They're taken down to whatever the minimum level would have been. I see. That makes sense. That makes sense. Another thing I'm gonna do, though... Like, this guy cannot do anything to us right now. So I'm just gonna skip my turn. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna... start casting Time Walk on... you some more. Because before we end this battle, I want to try something. Oh. I want to cast Time Walk on you as well, until you lose your barrier buff. Now, it doesn't matter if we win or lose this battle. Actually, no. Time Walk has to be on somebody who has health. You don't have health. You do have health. So cast Time Walk on you until you lose your barrier buff. Actually, you know what? You can lose your barrier buff naturally. I want to try out something. I want to see if we can get the damage achievement by attacking our own party member. I'm being greedy, yes, I know. But let's see if it works. So I'm gonna wait until it's your turn. Oh, cast. Whoa. I think my controller was bugging out slightly. But now it's your turn. Now, attack this guy, I guess. Ah, yes, you are doing damage. Oh, but he's not at his health. He's not at his high health, which is the other issue. And there's no way to easily heal you because we don't have any healing spells. You know what? Let's just end this battle. There are better ways to get the damage achievement than this. Let's end this fight. One thing I was worried about with those numbers going so high was that the game would crash. But they didn't. We should be getting some achievements right now. If we don't, I'll be very upset. Okay. Wait. Oh, okay, there we go. There we go. It took a while for them to pop. It took a while for them to pop, but we just got a truckload of achievements. I think for 7, 8, 9, 10, and that's gonna go all the way to 10. I would have been so upset if this hadn't worked. I would have been so upset. Let's just watch all of them pop, one by one. Because we've earned this moment. We have earned this moment. Oh, and we get another achievement for hitting 36%. Just because we've gotten so many achievements in one go, we just completed another full % of this huge game. Oh, even more. We're getting like 5 or 6 of them for every stat. Crippler as well. Yeah, I'm just watching all of these pile up. Now we're done getting notifications. And we've gotten so many of them that they're not even all fitting on this page. These are just a fraction of the ones we got. In order to truly get a sense of what we did, we've got to go to the achievements, go to recently earned. Yeah. Decrease attack by an octillion. That's the only decrease one that we did, by the way. Increase health by an octillion. Decrease the defense stat. Oh, sorry, increase. And these are all for increasing stats. Oh, and we even got the damage achievement. Why did we get the damage achievement? Well, because even though the enemy didn't have that much health, it still registered as us doing that much damage, which is 3 into 10 to the power of 45, almost reaching the British version of what an octillion is. That's the amount of damage we did to him. And so we got all the damage achievements as well. Crazy. You know what we're gonna do? We're not gonna do this again. Don't worry about it. I'm not gonna put you through this again. What I'm gonna do is we're gonna finish this realm and we're gonna head home. We could forfeit, but I need to get my fortune back up because I already forfeited a realm before. Need to study some of these scrolls. Or should I just... You know what? Maybe we can, like, yeah, we can poison the enemy. And then we can just, like... skip turn until, well... Like, it doesn't matter. Like, if they take their turn, they're gonna... If they take their turn, they're gonna die. We don't need to keep enemies alive anymore. Not in this... Why are people coming back from the... piece of garbage? Why are people coming back? Alright, let's just finish this realm quest. We'll treat this as a bit of a victory lap. Alright. Man, I am so happy that this worked. I'll do the rest of my debrief once we're back in our base. And I'll tell you the things that I was worried about. 2 major things I was worried about. And I'll tell you what they were in a bit. Alright, we don't really need to... Oh, hey! We got a free Pandemonium Shrine. There is an achievement in this game, by the way, for finding 1,000 of these Pandemonium Shrines, and it's like another one of those that's gonna take a while, because these guys are a rare encounter. Even though nothing happened, at least we made some progress towards that. Alright. Enemies attack, good for them. I'm sorry, I'm quiet for a while just because I'm still basking in what we accomplished, and it didn't even take that long. It took, this video is broken up into parts, so it's gonna, I'll have to, like, you'll know instantly how long it is, but to me, all I can do is look at the time that it is right now and tell you that it's been about a couple hours, like 2 hours and a bit. Which is a lot less long than I thought it would be. Now the flip side to that is we haven't fully finished these achievements. right? We haven't fully decked it out. What am I doing in this realm? Do I need to be here? Well, I mean, we've killed... This is gonna be the last enemy. And then afterwards, we won't have any more wandering enemies bothering us. So let's just kill them like this. What am I doing? I guess I'm just looking for rare encounters, like maybe there's a nether realm. Maybe there's a treasure golem. I mean, I guess a treasure golem would be a waste in such a low loot bonus situation. But you never know, right? Oh, a mimic is something that I don't really want to bother with. He's gonna have rebirth as well, but we don't have arbitration. We don't have any way of dealing with him because it's not that kind of build. Alright, let's finish things and head the heck home, because I am ready just to have a glass of water and just lie down. Not lie down, but just rest for a bit, because I am done. I'm done. Alright. Let's head home. We've donated to you. Yes, we have. Let's head home. We've even got a project to turn in. Alright. And you know what? I'm gonna save this loadout. Go to... I'm gonna call this... I need to rename this as well. I'm gonna rename this as Big Number version 1. BIG. Or just big number, because the second one that we're gonna take to reduce enemies' max health is gonna be pretty similar, but the spells are gonna be switched around. It's gonna be the same creatures, but with slightly different spells. Big number. V2. Yeah, we don't need to bother with V1, V2, we'll just call it big number. Yeah. We'll save it like this. Alright. So, let's look at... We even get a bit of knowledge increase with that one creature that we summoned as an extra bonus. Ooh, did we do our... We can take on one more project. We did attack, right? So let's do a training mission for defense. Alright, now let's end off the episode, but before we end off, I'm gonna tell you about two of the things that I was really worried about while that really long fight was going on. Number one, I was worried that the game would crash, right? Because games are notorious for behaving strangely when you get to very high numbers that the game isn't prepared to deal with. However, I was hoping, and it turned out to be correct, but I was still worried, but I was hoping that because this game has achievements where you need numbers to be that high, that, its internal coding would be robust enough that if a number like that popped up, in any context, it would be able to handle it rather than just completely, bricking itself. So luckily this game is well made. It was able to handle all of those without any problems. And the one crash I've had on camera wasn't even related to big numbers. It was just on like the realm. Probably something went wrong in realm generation. That's another problem that you can have with like games with procedural generation. So like we just weren't able to start the realm. So this part of the game, you don't have to worry about it crashing. That's one thing we learned. The other thing I was worried about was, I was like, I'm worried that I'm gonna do all of this effort, do all of this work, and that at the end of it, we're not gonna get credit for the achievements. Because there are other things that you can do, which logically have the same effect. Like, you could raise somebody's stats really high, or like raise one stat really high, and then there's a spell which will average out all your stats, which will in one sense count as lowering one stat and raising the others, but the game doesn't seem to count that as stat gains or stat losses, at least not in the testing that I did. If it does work, please correct me, but in the testing that I did, it seemed that spells like equality or humility weren't actually counting in terms of stat gains and stat losses. I have gems of equality and humility. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Target's stats are averaged, and humility is target's stats become equal to its lowest stat. So this should count as stat reduction, but it doesn't seem to. This should count as stat increase if you're like lowering one big stat. Actually, I don't know if I tested it in the stat increase context. Maybe it works for that, but this didn't seem to work as a stat reducer. So that's why I was worried that we wouldn't get credit for those achievements. And then when the battle ended, and there was that pause, that... by the way, the game will always pause before giving you achievements, so I should have known this, but you know... I was just really freaking out when there was that pause, and not knowing if the achievements are about to pop. I was like, oh my god, I wasted all that time, and we're not even gonna get the achievement. But then they started popping, and the moment the first one popped, I knew that we were gonna get all of them. And that was such a great feeling. Just to remind ourselves of what we accomplished. These were battle achievements. And by the way, with that with that flood of achievements, we are now at 48% of battle achievements, 36% of achievements overall. And let's just take a look. Oh yeah, I think we even got the healing achievement. Because, right. While we were buffed, I think we got mending, and that counts as healing. I thought we were gonna do something, we were gonna have to do something else to get the healing achievement, but we got that as well. We also got the damage achievement. I thought we were gonna have to wait until the max health one to do that. And yeah, we got Crippler for reducing attack by an octillion points. Yeah, the damage one, arguably, you can say maybe it shouldn't have popped, because the enemy only had like 50,000 damage. So, like, what is the damage that should count? Is it the damage you could do, or is it the damage you've actually done to the enemy? In this case, it gave us credit for the damage you could do, but in other cases, it'll only, like, for stat reduction, it'll only give you credit for the stats you actually did reduce, and not what you could have reduced. Which is why I had to do this really roundabout way for, you know, the stat reduction achievement. But anyway, it feels good, man. It feels good. But I think that is going to be all for this episode. We're not quite done, though. What I'm going to do next episode is I'm going to tweak this party a little bit. I'm going to make it a bit better, a bit more efficient. Now that I understand better about how to keep the enemy at bay and how to efficiently level yourself, and then start focusing on an enemy to buff, what I'm going to do is I am going to continue with this, but not in this episode, in the next episode. In the next episode, we're going to basically clean up the remaining big number achievements, and I think the only ones left are the stat reductions for the stats we haven't seen yet, like maximum health, intelligence, defense, and speed. So that's going to be what we do in the next episode. For now, I just wanted to say thank you for watching this milestone episode of Let's Play Siralim Ultimate. I hope you had a good time. I hope you learned a little bit about this game and how the different spells and the game's own internal record keeping works if you're trying to get these achievements for yourself. And if you're trying to get them for yourself, best of luck. And if you figure out a more efficient way to do it, by all means, feel free to post it in the comments. Like I said, I'm doing this blind. I just assembled this patchwork build on the fly. Surely there are better ways to do it. And if, like I said, if you know of them, do help out your fellow gamers by posting them in the comments or linking to something that will do a better job than what I used over here. But for now, I think I'm gonna take a break, and I will be back with you in the next video. I hope to see you then, and until then, take care.